Hey guys, can everybody hear me?
Yeah. Hi, Peter.
How's it going?
Well, thanks. Appreciate you putting these things on.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
Hey, good. Thank you. Can you hear me now at all?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you a lot better.
All right. Awesome. Maybe I just need to speak out.
No worries.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Drew?
Good. How y'all doing?
Doing good, doing good.
I'm at the bank trying to deal with banking things.
It's fun.
I have so I don't like Chase, but our current bank has been pissing me off. So Nick's like, let's go Chase, give it another chance. And I go, so we'll see. But I do have a when they were at everything, I was like, oh yeah, you used to have accounts with us. They're like, yeah, I killed all your corporate accounts y'all had. I literally every corporate account they had. Every company I went in as CEO of, I forced them to get away from Chase. So the banker was not very happy with everything. But anyways, how's it going?
Good, good, good. How's everybody doing? Anybody have any issues? Anybody have any questions?
Yes, I got new emails.
Awesome.
I don't know how do I open the box?
Which box?
I'm just messing with you. The box the emails came in.
You should be able to just put it out.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to use them yet. I got them in yesterday.
Yeah, I got mine. I got mine on Monday as well.
Have you tried them yet?
I have not. I have not tried them yet. I will be trying them probably this evening.
Cool. Ooh, somebody has birds.
Go ahead.
Somebody has birds.
Oh yeah.
Parakeets or what?
No, they're just wild birds.
Oh.
Out here in my shop. I have.
Yeah, we keep getting tons in the shop right now because I put the chicken feed out and they all come in under the bay door at night and then they get stuck because they try to go out the sunroof. I think waiting for the rest. Anybody else have questions? I'm just here tying up Mike's time.
Hey Casey, how's it going?
Hey, Casey on? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what format this is meant to take. Is this for people who already own the equipment, the M2 or whatever?
New owners or people that are looking to buy them?
Yeah, if you're looking to buy, we talk about what it could do. If you have any questions, we can always set up a time and we could do a demo with you.
Okay. Yeah, I think I filled out a form like late yesterday afternoon for the demo, and then I just saw today that this thing was available, but I've actually got to jog off here pretty soon-ish.
So you're looking to buy one? What are you looking
to
do?
Yeah, looking to buy one. Just setting up a new boat building company here in Nova Scotia. So thinking it's
cool.
where I'm headed in the next 5 minutes is probably to the aerospace company nearby who's going to do our big scale CNC stuff. But I thought it wouldn't hurt to have a toy for myself to start learning.
That's where I was because so we had some big we have 3 big 10-ton mills that and they said, but I just actually had them rigged and got out of our space because they had something. You know what I need a sign, guys? No sign. Okay. Sorry. But yeah, and I honestly been using the Maslow's for pretty much everything. They're so much better because it's, unless you're doing constant running your milling, it's not worth it. So
Cool. Yeah, for us, there's a lot of flat panel work that will, I think this thing will be a great fit for some of our in-house stuff. But then when we're talking the actual tooling, this is 5-axis, 15-foot wide by 40-foot long finished product. So I don't think I'm ever gonna be purchasing that material, that equipment myself.
Honestly, it was so I had 3 of those. I actually ended up with them because I was drinking it with one of my buddies, having beers with one of my buddies that owns a milling company, and they do oil rig parts, and he got new mills in, and I was like, man, I've always wanted to play with one of those. He's like, I've got to get these out of here so I get room for the new ones. Yeah. And he's like, I'll make you a deal on it. So I bought them off of him. And it's like $10,000 just to have the things moved because they're massive. You have to have specialty cranes, everything else. It's so, I realized it's so weird. But man, it took 250 gallons of cutting oil just to even turn them on. So I finally gave them away to another friend that was stupid enough to take them. So unless you're running constant jobs like he has, they're running 24/7 running stuff. It's not worth it.
Yeah, no, not going to fit in our program for sure.
Yeah,
I'm fortunate enough that there is this aerospace tech company right up the street. So, yeah, let them handle that. And who's actually with Maker here? Is that?
That'd be Mike. Mike is the Maker Made guy. The rest of us are mostly just friends.
Fair enough.
We're all owners. We all have Maslow's. Like when I started working with Maker Made, I just started working with them a few months ago, but I've had my system since October of last year.
Okay.
I helped a lot of people, so I got in with Maker Made, and so I'm helping them. I've been helping them out ever since I believe.
Hey guys.
Hey there.
Hey, it's Mike. It's John. You helped me last week set up the original calibration.
Hey John, how's it going?
It's going all right. I don't know. Can I ask a question about calibration here while we're actually in the middle trying to do the final?
Yeah, of course.
I hope it doesn't bother everybody else.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No.
I'm Drew here to help you.
I'm just thrown off by Casey right now.
Yeah, no worries.
I know. It looks like Casey has something important to tell us.
All right. So we're working through the calibration, and we got it to a really good spot, we thought, until we had the Z set all up. I'm talking while I'm trying to pull this up again, because I pull up calibration now, it's telling me to start all over again. We had an issue with it. It said something about soft limit when we're trying to move the Z down.
Oh, yep, soft limit fun. Yeah. So when you, so the Z, sometimes we don't set up. So what's happening is make sure you zero it first. Get it like all the way bottom or all the way top. Because what's happening is it thinks it's in a certain position, and then when it's going down, since there's no limit switches on this, what it's doing is it's just calculating how far it's moving. So it may think it's 20 millimeters up, and then we tell it to go down 20 millimeters. What's happening is it was actually only 10 millimeters, or maybe 30 millimeters up, and it's only going down so far.
Yeah, so I want to be able to freely move the Z all the way down to the workspace, right?
Yeah, Casey. Sorry, I'm like jumping forward. Casey probably could explain that one pretty good.
Yeah. So what's happening is can everybody hear me?
Yes.
What's happening is you're tripping your soft limit alarms. That means that the system thinks that your bit is already too far and you're going to crash your frame, your Z axis. What you can actually do is on the left-hand side in the settings view there, or up in the command box, the black box that you can type into, you can actually type in the code that would just disable all your soft limits. That's what I personally, I did that because the soft limits are never accurate. They're all over the board.
Okay, so what is that code? What would I need to type into the console?
So I think it's, I have to look here real quick. I want to say it's, Mike, do you know what that is? $1.21?
Not off the top of my head. But,
Sorry, guys, I'm no use to it either, 'cause I
Yeah.
can't remember. I remember the G code settings for all the lasers, but I don't remember the G code settings for the
for
the
that one,
soft
yeah.
limits.
Yeah, the easiest thing to do is if you don't know G code, just go to the settings right there, like he said, Casey said, and go all the way down to where it says soft limits and just turn from 1 to 0, and that turns it off.
So my settings, I got general, workspaces, controller, commands, events, about.
I'll tell you what, if you are currently on the Facebook page, post that on the Facebook page. Give me just a little bit to look up the settings, and I can just reply on the Facebook page for you.
Okay, thank you.
Just make sure if this is your first time setting up and all that, if you disable soft limits, just keep a close eye on it. And if you start to crash, just make sure you hit stop, because you will every now and then you will crash it. And you don't want to accidentally you don't want to risk stretching your springs or if with your XY or accidentally what do you call it, bending one of your motor mounts if you
Right.
go too
right.
far. So just keep
So-
an eye on it. It's my best
so-
recommendation. If that starts to happen, just
Yeah,
stop real quick.
so we just looked it up. Does $1.20 equals 0 mean anything to anybody?
That's probably
Yeah,
it.
it's like $1.20 equals 0 is
Yeah.
off, and $1.21
One is on. Yeah.
is on.
21 is off, 20 is off, right?
Yeah, 0 is off, 1 is on.
You don't want the tall board. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, and so it's kind of the same thing. If you go to settings, you go to settings on the side where it says under calibration, and look for soft limits on there.
Mercedes.
Hey, guys, it was good briefly chatting with you all. I got to take off, but
All right, I'm
probably
going to
see each other in another one of these.
send me an email, Mike@makermade.com.
Mike at MakerMade.
Mike@makermade.com.
All right, perfect. Mike, I'll reach out to you in a little bit here.
All right, sounds good, Kyle.
Thanks.
Of course.
See you guys.
So Casey, what y'all dressed up for?
I'm at work, man.
Oh, you're back inside on site.
Yeah, I'm down in a little huddle room, a little conference room. Won't be long. We'll be back in full swing.
That stinks. I'm running
You think it's gonna go back
bank
and forth?
errands.
Casey?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You think everything's gonna go back to normal again, or you think it's gonna go back to
Well, I know we're going back. We're going back in a partial capacity. So we're doing a couple of days a week out of the office if we want to. And to be honest with you, I kind of like it. Think about it. For 30 years, I've been going into the office every day. So you kind of get used to it. It's
yeah?
So today, so Tuesdays and Thursdays actually were the days that a lot of people pegged that they wanted to do. So that's what we're doing here is Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I don't know how much longer I'll be able to keep going with this session here.
Hey, guys, real quickly, I'm sorry to do this. We're just hopefully in the middle of it. So in the console, we did the $1.20 equals 0, hit enter, and now I can't, my settings are, I can't get to unlock it to be able to manually move. So once you put the command in the console,
You might have to hit reset, but yeah, because you don't want to reset that. No, you're.
Well, you should have
Did you go?
probably you already had it tripped. You had already tripped it, so you have to hit reset, and then I think it's clear or something like that. There's two
sorry?
buttons side by side at the top.
Yeah, just don't clear your G code. Otherwise, you have to retype in that $20 command if you clear G code.
All right, so that's what happened the first. So I hit reset and it lost everything. So you're saying right now, I typed in the command in the console. Do I hit the reset button now?
Well, do you already have the alarm? Is there an
Uh,
alarm up there? It says
It
you're
says,
in alarm.
yeah, alarm 2 soft limit. Yep.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You have to reset. Once that
Yeah,
alarm,
reset, and then once you reset, then do the $20. But reset first, clear the alarm first, and then do the $20.
All right, so when you say reset, is that reset the board connection?
No, just hit the reset at the top. There's a reset in Makerverse. It just resets and clears all the errors.
which version of Makerverse are you using? 1.1.3.
The most recent one.
Yeah, so that's 1.1.3. Up at the very top, right in the middle of your screen, you'll see one that says reset.
Yeah, and I hover over that, it says reset board connection.
Yeah, you have to hit that reset button because now you're already in an alarm limit.
Right.
You have to hit that reset. And then to your left is another button that you'll hit that then gets everything going again.
All right, so it just gave me an error code. G lock code. It says G code commands are locked out during alarm or jog state. After connecting or resetting, you must unlock the machine.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
now you
unlock.
reset. So every time you reset, you always have to unlock. Yep.
Well, hold on. Right next to the reset button, there's a button that I said the button on your left. There's a button there that now says unlock. Click unlock.
Yeah.
And now if you look on your right-hand side, all your movement buttons, you should be able to use those again.
Right. All right. Let's see if we can do.
So every time you get
See, it's hitting the soft limit problem again.
and you put in.
Oh yeah, don't try to move. So do reset, unlock, do the S20 command, and then try to move.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to hit your soft limit.
Gotcha.
And you'll get used to this stuff. Once you get used to this stuff, there's things like this. After about a week or two of really playing around, and after a month, you'll have the nice thing is that a little bit. It's there's things to learn, but once you get used to it, it's super easy and fast.
There we
You'll
go.
have the things.
There we go. Now we're moving.
Yeah, now just be warned.
Right. Be careful. Yeah.
So with mine, it's not really going off the board. The sled running off the board or anything. To be honest with you, the MakerMade unit moves so slow. It's like you can easily, oh crap, and unplug it.
Right. Right.
But what you can't see is that Z-axis going up and down on the Z-axis tower on the sled. That's where you got to just kind of be careful on that because you can.
If you hear it clicking,
too high, right?
Right.
But I know that in the future we're actually working on putting a button on there, a switch on that main screen next to where the reset button and everything is up there, to where you can just say shut off alarm, soft limits, or turn it on. That way you don't have to worry about the $20 command and all that crap.
Gotcha. This has been extremely helpful. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
This group is great. That's one thing that's beautiful about the MakerMade is you have a great community. Okay, sorry. Still at the bank, sorry. But yeah, it's a great group, and there's people like Casey are awesome. That just really know these things inside out. So we're gonna have to move the time. They're gonna have to move the times, Casey, if you can't be on these.
Hey, Peter, do you have any other questions? Do you have any questions, Peter?
Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, I don't really have any questions at the moment. I'm still not to the point where I've got things set up to use, but I am learning a lot from you guys on these things. So if you move them, I'm definitely interested in knowing when and where I'll be on here.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Lauren's on.
Yeah, Lauren's
Hey, there's
on here.
Lauren. Hey, Lauren. Did you get your emails too?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
My emails?
Yeah. The new ones that Patrick sent out.
No, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure if he sent them out to me or not. I didn't get any of them. I did.
Oh, you
I
mean-
did
I think-
prep
I
a
think-
bunch of.
You
is
get-
that-
Right?
do what?
You give him your address? You know,
I
your
think he
info?
was. I don't think he was on at that time. So we should get his address and put it on there.
You didn't get his your address?
I don't think he was on at the time when Patrick was asking that.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and
So we-
send me your address to my email, mike@makermade.com. And we'll get you some
Yeah,
bits.
I can sit it in just a minute. Yeah, I was actually gonna bring it up because he asked me to do some videos. I've been prepping some stuff. I have a webcam and stuff that I have set up, but it doesn't do that good of quality. There's a lot of lag, so we're working to get another one of the cameras I got going. But I took a lot of pictures and some media and stuff to kind of help set it up. And just kind of taking through some of the tutorials that are my method. I know it's a tutorial, my method of doing things. Show just one way of doing it.
You're
So I
lagging
got a lot of that stuff prepped. I just need to.
Is it just Casey, is he lagging or is it just me?
No, he's lagging. He's cutting in and out there a bit.
Yeah. Wonder if it's my signal. You see me just fine?
Still lagging.
Maybe I need to turn my video off. Can you hear me okay?
It's a little worse now. Hello?
Let me try logging out, log back in.
It makes fun of San Antonio for having bad internet.
So where are you from, Peter?
Hey, I'm actually in Arkansas.
Nice. What part?
Well, just north of Little Rock at the moment, but we just got approved for our bank loan. This coming week, we're going to sign paperwork to have a whole new place built. So whole new shop, whole new spot for this Maker Made. It's gonna be cool.
Nice.
That's funny. We're actually been doing that thing right now as we speak.
That's cool. I'm just trying to soak up as much as I can, so when I get using this, I don't have so many issues.
Yeah, that's what's usually great about these calls. You get everybody talking about it.
And you'll remember, and things will click. You'll be like, okay, this is what that meant. This is what they meant by that.
Yeah, I've been following the Facebook page pretty closely too. A lot of people, posting what they've got and what's going on. And I think between these and the Facebook page, it's very helpful.
Am I still lagging on your end?
What was that?
Casey, can you hear me okay? Or is it still lagging?
You're still lagging a bit there, so you kind of keep popping in and out there.
I'll see if I can turn it. I think on my computer, maybe the mic work this time around.
Yeah, we finally got gigabit or fiber, so I'm like so excited. Bilateral gigabit fiber. Yes. So, yeah, the new emails came in. I haven't had a chance to use them yet, but I'm curious how Casey hasn't said. You said you haven't a chance to use them yet either.
No, mine are scheduled to come in today.
Yeah, mine came in yesterday. So I like I'm curious what Lauren and you think about them, Casey. I think interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see how they go, and then I don't know. One of the things that's also coming is that 7-watt laser, so I'm going to give that a run for its money.
Oh, did you get that in?
Well, it's supposed to be. If
Okay.
it comes in with it, then I'm gonna test the crap out of that and see if there's some way I can boost that and maybe a little bit more airflow, a little bit more directed airflow or something to get it maybe cut. I'd like to see it at least cut 1/8 inch plywood.
Yeah, if you do an air assist, like if I do my air assist, I do a high pressure air assist straight on where the beam's hitting, it cuts pretty well because you're superheating that ember. And so with wood, it works pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's might want to think about is putting an air assist on there to help the 7-1 and see what you can get.
Well, I got 850 CFM of air assist, remember?
Oh, yeah.
My-
That's got to be directed though. 850 CFM over a 10-inch area is not that much. Or
Yeah,
8-inch vacuum.
850 CFM over a 3-inch hole is quite a bit.
For my fume extractors for the what do you call it, for the big lasers, I use a bouncy house blower
Yeah.
because they're like 2,500 CFM over 2-inch area. They're like, and the nice thing is the waterproofs, like keep them outside. And so hey, just what do you call it? But yeah, I keep them outside too because they're loud as hell. But man, I'll suck everything out. You get a little bird lands on your laser, goes right in your laser.
It works, right?
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I'm going to have to drop off here just a little bit. I got another meeting to run to. Matter of fact, I got to run downtown to the meeting. It's a good half hour, 45 minutes down to the Shell building. All right.
Anybody else have any thoughts or cool things they're working on? Sorry, it's kind of slow today. Usually it's more exciting. Casey's all dressed up. It freaked us all out. Everybody's like stunned. The whole thing stopped.
That's all right. I freaked out the dog this morning. He just stared at me. He didn't know who I was. All right, everybody. Have a good one. I'll talk to you
Have a
later.
good one. Yeah. I'd usually show things or do things, but I'm at the bank, so I can't do much besides fume over the fact that I don't really like Chase, but okay. Yeah, let's just sit there. Yeah. Anybody trying to do a small one? Anybody look at doing the small Mazda, like a 3 foot by 3 foot instead of a? So I think that's one of the big things that people get questions about, or come in looking to buy one, just don't have room for them. You haven't built yours yet, Peter? Yeah.
No, I'm working on clearing space out in the garage temporarily.
Are you gonna
until we
wall
get
mount
new-
it? What are you gonna do?
I'm sorry.
Are you looking at wall mounting, or are you gonna put it on casters?
Think this one's going to go on casters. Once I get moved into the new shop, it'll be permanently mounted.
I would do it even in the permanent shop. I like them on casters just because I can clean them easy too if I need to roll behind them. And you can, so if you go with the original frame design instead of the new frame design, you can just those little wall mount brackets. You can mount the wall mount brackets later if you wanted to switch it. But if you go with those the original frame design, it makes it super easy to put on casters, and then you have nice storage behind it. So I stick with the original frame designs. Then
Sounds
Casey
good.
has some really cool designs that he's done for his, but yeah.
Yeah, I've looked
if you're gonna do
at
that,
few-
do that.
I've been watching a few of Casey's videos. They're pretty good. I love them.
He does some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to get this puppy up and running. So the sooner the better. That way I can
Yeah.
participate with better questions.
No, that's good. I just have to go things to think about. Just waiting for my driver. I hate driving, so I have. But he's taking his damn time. I'm waiting to get back to the shop. So I guess I should have drove. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. What are you looking to do with yours? Just wood, or are you looking at the laser module too?
I might add the laser maybe in a year or so, but I'm going to start
Yeah.
off with just wood.
I guess you do both. Like we do plastic and do foam and stuff like that with ours.
That's cool. I've got some MDF projects I'm kind of hoping that I can cut through here for Christmas.
Yeah, MDF's always good to start with, especially if you start with a really fine MDF, because then you don't like hit spots where you have knots in the wood. You don't hit. It's why I make everybody practice with it first, just because it gives them a good feel for it, and you get a more consistent. What do you call it? Instead of chipboard or things, you get a much more consistent feel of how the machine moves. And then once you get once you start getting the then a harder wood, I think that's makes it a better feel for it, I guess. Plus you can get it cheap. If you get some of the MDF and cut it up in some 4x4s just to practice, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, can y'all hear me okay now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You on base or what?
Yeah, I went to a different base and I had to go to a different building, and so I'm kind of now I had to go back out to my car. I mean, you remember how military buildings are? So just horrible service. Now, I was going to ask you, how good were those bits that they sent you? Have you tested them? I mean, have you even pulled them out of the package?
I haven't even opened the box yet. I haven't had a chance. I got them in yesterday, and then I've been dealing with my ex. My ex decided to be an evil person, but we were in a Dusty Battle. She called CPS and Texas Workforce on me, filed fake reports, and so I had Texas Workforce and CPS like over at our offices. And what's funny is this CPS officer came over. She saw the maker. They were like, "Well, we hear you're letting me use dangerous equipment." So I showed them the maker-made printers and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh, this is cool." They're like, and the CPS officer's like, "Oh, my kids would have so much fun over here." I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, now today their lawyer called and you can say they were like panicked, like, "Oh crap!" I'm like, "You can go to jail for that." But it was funny. So yeah, I haven't had a chance. Let's put it that way. I had an interesting day. So it ended up turning out to be pretty fun because, yeah. But no,
so
definitely get them.
So I was gonna run some things by y'all that I've experienced over the last week. I took some videos of it. And like I said, I'm trying to get. I got to do voiceover and stuff on them because I was trying to basically do something like like you advised, kind of doing some videos, just talking, but don't make it too much, but keep it simple and just take them through projects. So I prepped some of that stuff, but I tested the machine at 50 to 55 inches per minute. And what I didn't expect. So when you go into the settings on the left side of Makerverse, and you can go down there, you can change those inches or the millimeters per minute, right?
Yep.
So I pushed it up, and then it definitely moves at that speed anytime you're like shifting from home. You know what I'm saying? So I put a piece up, I move it to where I need it to cut the piece out. What I saw was you got your square board. It actually moving left to right doesn't move perfectly horizontal. It actually moves at an angle, and then because it's like the speed of the gears, and then when it gets to the point, it has to pull itself back up. I'd never seen it. Yeah, it was like the wildest thing. I almost videoed it, but it happens so fast. It's just, I was like, wait a minute, is it missing home? But every time it would correct itself. Because I take I
think what's happening is I think it's buffering. I think the buffer can't keep up with it. So what's happening is it's not buffering that G code fast enough, and so then it's all of a sudden catching up. So those other commands are coming in, and it's like move, and then the other commands are coming in. It's finally catching up. You know what I mean? So the commands just are streaming proper.
Yeah, so, and then you got to think about it. Then you got to think about it. Gravity takes it's all physics.
Well, yeah. So I thought maybe because you take gravity into the mix, right? By that concept, like the chains should be slacking, but I've got enough weight because I'm running just over 30 pounds on my machine. So it's a little heavy. It's still within the parameters. There's never any slack. It's the way I need to film it. It's just kind of wild how it does, but it corrects itself every time. And it's still very accurate. And I have the pictures of some of the circles and things I cut out at 45 and 50 inches per minute. And yeah, still very accurate. The only thing that I ran into was, you know how like sometimes you'll take cuts, right? And you'll do 2 cuts on the same piece of stock.
Yeah.
And you'll try to get them as close as you can. Well, when you are moving at that speed and it cuts into an open area or partially into an open area, you're going to have a little bit of a kick out because it's going to push it a little bit and those chains are going to stretch. So I ran into that, but it's nothing more than about 3 minutes of sanding on my desktop sander, and that solved that problem. But at first I was like, oh, I'm getting some inaccuracies. Then I kind of tracked down what was causing it. But I mean, I was cutting 1/8 inch out of 1/8 inch or 1.25 and or 0.125 and at 45 and 50 inches per minute without a problem. Still very accurate.
What speed were you running in the router at?
Do what? Say it again.
What speed were you running your router at?
What? So I think I was running a Spectra bit that's capable of 24,000 RPM, and I was running it at 20.
Okay, so yeah, you're pretty much. Which router are you running? You running the rigid, or which one are you running?
The rigid. I do have a Bosch, but I have it set up in my router table right now.
Yeah, so that's pretty good though. Like, so you're running like an 8 or 9 on that speed dial then.
Yeah. Mike, can you give me the share? I'll show you some of the pictures that I have. If I can get share options, y'all can see like I'll show you the before and after cleanup.
Yeah, I'm not signing into the host on this account. I'm using the iPad. So.
But yeah, it's surprisingly, I expected what I was prepared for was it to cut, but it just to be very inaccurate or have issues. But no, like I'm talking, because I do it anyway already to do cleanup on fuzzies and stuff. Just running a flush trim router.
That's pretty cool.
At the end, it came out, I mean, as smooth as as I'd done it at 15 inches per minute, which I just wasn't sure if it was going to do that. In fact, I ran a couple of cuts at one point a couple weeks ago at about 10 inches per minute, but 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch, or wow, I'm sorry, 1/4 5/8 of an inch, just to see if I could do. I'm sorry, no, that's not right. 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, math in my head right now. 1/4 inch to 3/8.
I was thinking that's pretty good drop for a pretty good depth to cut to that speed.
Yeah. So I was trying to see if I could go slow. Now these are, like I said, I dropped some coin on these bits. But those had more issues. It had more issues at that speed and depth than it did at an 1/8 inch at 50 inches per minute. So I'm cutting just under 17-inch circles. Took me just over 6 minutes to cut it, a circle. So that's a 3/4 inch wood too, not 1/2 inch. So I don't know. It's pretty exciting. I'm debating getting actually buying the pro version of easel because carbide works, but it's just the code that it generates is not as clean as easel does.
I bought I bought the pro version, and just, honestly, just to play with it since I bought it. Let's think about it. We have so much to go on, but yeah, it does. There's definitely stuff that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, I would. I want the Vectric because that code it generates is freaking amazing, but that's so expensive to get that pro version.
Yeah, well, the easel they do the monthly. It's like $30 a month for easel.
Yeah, and we were looking at like what our options were as a business, like tax write-offs. I need to talk to like a true CPA to make sure that like I'm doing everything right, because that's what we were looking at. Like what all can we write off as a business expense moving forward? Because I mean we're going to have money to burn on taxes as it is.
Yeah, that's why I have a business partner that's an MBA, because I hate doing that crap. All my businesses, the first thing I hire is an accountant. And then one of my business I hate, because as much as we're an IT company, I hate using all our billing systems and everything else. And then I give them shoe boxes full of receipts and and for a while I had an IT service company. He's like, "You're an IT service company, for God's sakes, use QuickBooks."
Yeah.
So, but no, that's awesome. Yeah, there's some cool stuff you can do. I'm sure you can write it off.
Yeah. Oh, Mike, like last week we were talking to Patrick. Yeah, we were talking to Patrick last week because he was talking about if you ramp up the speed, you may run into issues on the corners. And obviously a circle doesn't have any corners, so I cut one of the Spartan helmets out. I think I showed on the last week. And I wanted to see, like, actually videoed it. I do have video of that, and it literally like was hauling ass up to the corner, and then it slowed down real quick at the very last minute, went around the corner, and then shot back up into speed because I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out. But I only had one issue with the Spartan head, and it was at one point, and it was where it was cutting through an open area or a partially open area. But I don't know. If the bits are made right, I think you can absolutely ramp that thing up faster.
I think you'll be able to with these. I wouldn't push too deep of a pass, but I think you can. They look good. What do you call it? From when he was showing up on the camera stuff the other day, but the way he's talking about doing it since with that bull nose, I think you should be able to. I'll be at the office here in like 2 minutes. I'll open them up and see.
Yeah, I also because I actually picked up because I took pictures of my initial, like all my bits, and that's one of the things I was going to go through when I did the video, like the full length video, which I'm trying to keep it as short as possible and just make little cuts of it. But I have like 4 different V bits now that I was trying to show the difference in like how ultimately the cut's going to go. But I don't know. I'm excited to get these videos out and then just get, our method of attacking a new business. But I'm sure when it comes out, y'all will be able to give me some legitimate feedback. Like I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my feedback was I would definitely try it. It may not be a good idea. It's funny. My kids got me a sticker the other day. It says, bad, what do you call it? Bad ideas make for great experiences or something like that. or bad decisions make for great stories.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I was going to ask Mike too, because I was kind of sketching out a 4-foot Maslow. Those components in those kits, can y'all alter them at all, or are they stuck at what they are?
What do you mean? What do you mean stuck or altered?
So, for example, like right now on an 11-footer, right? When you run an 11-footer, the chain goes up to the edge, and then it wraps around the sprocket. Now, it already comes with those 2 additional sprockets, but I was wondering if I could get extra components of those sprockets. The reason why I'm saying is I was running a sketch where basically if you had to have an 11-foot chain or 11-foot chains instead of getting shorter chains, I didn't know if that was like an option, because obviously if you can get shorter foot chains, then you just make a shorter Maslow, right? It's too easy and just adjust the parameters.
I've got extra parts for them. I don't know if they have an extra stock, but I do know they've had extra like spares. I've actually busted things. But the other thing too is if you go to McMastercar.com or just McMaster.com, you can get all those parts easily. Because I've done modifications to ours, and the McMaster's super fast. I mean, you don't have to pay for overnight. You just do ground, and they have distribution centers throughout the place. But if you want industrial parts, McMaster's gonna have every damn thing you can imagine to the sun.
Yeah, you told me about it a couple of meetings when I actually pulled it up, saved it on my computer. I didn't know. I was really looking for the specs on those gears because I can order more, but I was basically gonna try to put a 4-foot Maslow, looking to make a purchase and put a 4-foot Maslow on the backside of my current Maslow. And so that I can just have 2 Maslow machines that I could cart around the shop as I needed to use them. But I was really just going to run 11-foot chains and just reroute the chains a second time. So like, what is the easiest?
That actually smart. That actually sounds like a good idea, because you could actually do like a weave in it to keep it. It may be easy just use a chain tool though and just shorten those chains a little bit.
No, agreed. And it really comes down to like, what are you willing to do for your customer? Because the easier for the business, right? As you sell it as up to a 4-foot, and all you do is put in the kit 2 extra sprockets with a spacer and a screw, right? because that's the only thing you need.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you just reweave, because that's the way I was sketching it out. I was like, this will work fine. And then the chains, it's the same system, you know?
Yeah.
So it's literally just a slightly different setup. Honestly, the only thing that I think the current kit is missing, and maybe I bought the wrong kit, is there's not a proper, the kit doesn't come with a legitimate hook. Like you have to buy your own hook. Or mine didn't come with a hook when I purchased it. I think there needs to be a legitimate or a nicer hook for the Maslow. Or the M2, I mean, not Maslow.
A hook? You're talking about a hook? What, to hang the Maslow?
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't come with the hook.
So I think they should make like a legitimate hook for it. Because like I used a nice like a strong eye bolt, and ground down the head to make it nice and clean. But you know, most people ain't gonna take that effort. Most people are. What I find is that like just hanging it, it can damage the back of that board or back of the sled. So you kind of gotta pay attention to it. And if there was a nice hook already in the kit, it'd be very little expense to have that.
I just use a screw. So I just have a screw I just put in there.
Right. I mean, like I said, it works fine. My only concern is if it sits there, it'll like, I don't know. I find it makes a little bump on either side of it.
Yeah.
And so every once in a while, I just have to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah. No, I have mine at angle, so when it makes a bump on it right now, the only place it's making a bump is on the outside, on the top of the sled, not the bottom of the sled, which is good.
Yeah. So I actually, on the front side of my sled, the other thing I started doing, I was looking for an actual, like a bushing for it. But for now, all I did was put a rubber grommet around it. So whenever when I put it on the hook, it just bumps up against that grommet.
I made this sled a while back. I might have fun with this one. So I laser cut the sled out of 1/2-inch acrylic.
Yeah.
If you shoot me an email with your address, or Mike, if he already sent you his address, I'll mail it to you if you want to play with this sled.
Actually, that's the other thing I need to do. Need to send that email. But yeah, I want to there's a little improvements like that to really like tidy up the machine.
Yeah.
And Mr. Biggs.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the other thing. My ex said, "Oh, well, it's funny because she knows not, but with the report, she was like, it's so dangerous in there." And then they came over, they're like, "Oh, you have chickens running around your shop." I'm like, "Yeah, it's so dangerous. The chickens are hanging out in lasers." and one that has that little outfit on that my daughter put on it. That's me too.
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
Where do you post your videos when you're doing those up?
So that was the thing, and I've got them all prepped, or some of it prepped, because Pat, I've been coming to these a lot, and I haven't posted any of them. I just talk, I like to talk. So.
Where are you gonna post them at?
I'm gonna try to put them on the Facebook page, and then we were looking at like making like a little business YouTube channel just to kind of share tips and tricks. But that's what I'm saying. I really just got to redo a couple of the videos on another camera, because my webcam that I have is a nice webcam, but it's still got a little lag when I did the test.
Let me know if you need any kind of intros or anything like that, or any kind of intros for your logos or anything like that. For like I can do all that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not really looking to make money on any of this stuff. I just I don't know if it helps the community, because this community's been pretty awesome for me. So if I can give back to it,
That's awesome. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of stuff ends up doing beneficial. I mean, there's cool. Yeah, that's.
I was even chatting with Scotty B for a little bit, kind of getting some of his stuff, because I'm not looking to get into like his business, but I like the backlit stuff. And I know there's a market here for a lot of backlit items. So I'm probably
I do a lot, and if you want LEDs for stuff,
go to Five Below. If you go to Five Below, if you have Five Below near you,
Yeah.
I get so many LEDs. So I do a lot of LED stuff where we do a lot of backlit stuff, and you can get the $5 LED sets. You can get them on Amazon too, but Five Below has a great little set that's USB powered. And
Okay. So it's a little bitty 12 volt one. It's a 12 volt one.
Yeah, I think he's talking about the neon one, the one, the ropes. He's talking about the rope.
oh yeah, the EL lights, the EL rope.
Yeah, so that's where I'm basically playing with it right now. So what I'm doing right now is I have a baby girl that's due within the next 3 days.
Oh
so,
wow, congrats.
Yeah. So it's gonna be fun when I'm taking my leave and I'm sitting at the house and my wife's gonna hate it. Well, she'll be okay with it, I guess. I'll be in the garage a lot for the next 2 weeks probably.
Yeah.
So that'll be my chance to I'm gonna do a lot of that stuff, but we've been redoing her new room and I'm basically taking her name and cutting it out. I'm gonna try to do like a 4-foot cutout of her name and backlight it above her bed. That's a fun project I really want to kind of show off.
Amazon has some really good EL wire. I have some. Sorry, my office is a disaster. Let me see what the EL wire is. The EL wire. I usually have strips of EL wire somewhere here. Yeah, there's some strips of the EL wire, which is 12 volt, which is really good. And they do that, and you can wrap it really nice. Or sometimes I just use the LEDs just because they're instead of the EL wire because it's easier. I don't know where my strips went, but yeah. Somewhere.
I was comparing them on Amazon because I'm really not, plus I don't want to steal anybody's market. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're doing well, I don't want to steal that business.
You're not like one thing I had with like Etsy when I put my stuff on Etsy. Like my wife's like, oh, how do you keep it? Or not my wife, but one of our friends was like, how do you keep it? I'm like, I'm not. The more they do stuff like that, the better it is, anyways. It did. Other people like doing some of those things rose our sales. So it's like, I don't know, but I'm an open source person, so I think the more competition, the more things out there. So I think you're better off. It makes everybody better off. You're gonna have to get a spindle if you're gonna have a new baby. Man, you're gonna need a spindle.
Yeah, I mean, the garage ain't too bad. Really, where I just need to, like, as I invest, I got to convince the wife that now is the time to get full dust collection in the garage. Because I spend 2 to 3 minutes after every major cut blowing the garage out and cleaning it up.
You just use a leaf blower?
So I have actually 2 fans and a leaf blower. And the fans are pushing most of it out, but usually just a quick blast of the leaf blower at the machine blows it all out. But it's still, there's always
Go
those
to Harbor Freight. This dust collector from Harbor Freight's really good. Though obviously I'm not using it. I bought a remote switch for it so I can turn it on. So they have the little remote switches. It's way, and I have it hanging around here somewhere, but obviously I haven't been using it like I should, but it works really well. These Harbor Freight ones, and they have all the accessories and attachments and stuff you can use. So
does that dust collector work standalone, or do you have to hook it up to your vacuum?
Nope, it's standalone. It's a standalone. It's $100. And here, let me take all the shit off of it. Sorry, I've been moving stuff around. I had to fit a 40-foot crane in this warehouse the other day, so that was an interesting task. Let's see here. So it's actually a pretty good setup. I mean, the really fancy ones obviously have the bags that automatically clean stuff, but let me turn it on. Oh shit, let me plug it in. I literally screwed the cables to the wall so people couldn't unplug them, and they still unplug them. No, but yeah, you can get all the little output attachments. And this thing has really good CFM. It's like a 3 horsepower motor. And then you have a bag down here that collects all your dust.
Yeah, because right now I'm using a vacuum and a cheap dust collection thing off Amazon.
No, that's a pain in the ass. These are $100, and if you get the coupon, they're $100 at Harbor Freight. It's been awesome. And the other thing too is I actually have one of the extensions, and I actually use it as a shop vac a lot. So I have a bunch of shop. Okay. I have a bunch of big shop vacs, but for a lot of times, so I have a step down. So it has a 4-inch input. I have step downs, and I also have different valves. So if I want to like unhook things or hook things up, you got a little accessory switch. I obviously just ignore my quality of how I put this thing together. But, as it falls apart.
Nah, I mean, I definitely need it because I went out to the, I went to work the next morning, couldn't see out my windows because there was so much dust all over my car.
Yeah, this one's great for $100. You can't beat it, and it comes on the rolling cart and everything.
Yeah,
and it's literally $120. So, yeah, that's been a great thing when we were actually using it properly. I've been back. So we have the big 20-foot bay door, so I've just been using the dust blower, the leaf blower. But
I mean, I'm gonna look them up down.
Harbor Freight. It's been a good. Honestly, some stuff from Harbor Freight's kind of shitty. Like I've bought grinders and stuff from Harbor Freight that suck. That dust collector has been amazing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what you get usually when you get from Harbor Freight. So when you know somebody tells you it's actually worth it. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. I got a miter saw from Harbor Freight, and it does great for.
It's weird to get hit or miss.
Cut,
like,
but it's,
I bought some grinders, and never again buying grinders from Harbor Freight. This thing sucks. But yeah, this little Harbor Freight one here we got. But no, I bought that dust collector specifically for the Maslows for them too. Because the problem too is shop vac. Not only that, you're not supposed to run shop vacs for hours on end. You can burn your shop vacs out. Right. But they also clog up. Those filters clog up really fast because you don't have that much surface area. And when you're creating that much dust, so this you have a massive surface area because this bag, and then you just attach garbage bags. I'm just using the shop bags. They have ones. It comes with a couple bags. They come with clear bags so you can see when they're full. But, just don't smoke and accidentally drop a cigarette and let it suck it in there. Nice flame out of it.
No, actually, I'd end up stealing handfuls of it because most of the time, like that's me and my daughter's kind of fun things is I'll take the scrap pieces, go in the backyard and get the fire pit, and we'll make a little fire. So
it's fun. We take the dust and throw it over. Yep.
It's a great way to start.
How many kids do you have?
I got one little girl. She's 2.5 years old, and then I got another one. Like I said, she's due no later than 2. Just 2.
2. Congrats.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. I'm trying to get her into woodworking. We'll see what happens.
Now she goes
out the shop and moves my tools around, and that's where it's fun. Trying to figure out where she moved my tools. My wife's like, I didn't touch them. I know you didn't touch them.
My 5-year-old was having fun. My 5-year-old little girl was. We did a bench of like a secure bench as like the security bench thing for somebody, but we did a prototype out of wood. And she was having fun. She was playing with a little orbital sander. She was out over there sanding it the other day. She was like, hey. She was really liking that. It was funny.
So it's kind of funny. I have a old Black & Decker toolkit that I got when I was 5 years old, back when Black & Decker wasn't the worst tool ever made. And I'm literally, it's old jigsaw drill and the sander set that I want to give her when she's a little older. Because that thing is like 20 years old. It's crazy. Not 25 years old.
That's really cool. I have some of my great grandfather's tools, some of his vice grips and stuff like that. And so I don't use them anymore. I think I keep them set aside so they don't get lost. But it's neat to know that like I have some of those tools that my great grandfather, my grandfather, and my dad used.
Yeah. Have you been to Home Depot recently?
Every day. My Home Depot is literally like 3 blocks from my house. So, and like a mile from our office. So
yeah, I'm a little jealous. I have to drive about 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get to one. But have you used any of those new Diablo sanding blocks? They're a sponge.
I use those all the time. In fact, they're good. I actually use a lot. I use those Diablo sanding blocks all the time.
I was gonna put it out there. If somebody hasn't bought one, they are fantastic for cleaning fuzzies. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's funny because I just
like I literally bought one and I just literally off my orbital sander just take the pads off when they're getting wore down, pop them on my sanding block, that sponge. It's one of the actual like sponge ones, right? Has sticky on both sides. Yeah, and I was gonna put it out there. If you don't have them, buy 1 or 2. They are great.
They are, and I love the Diablo stuff. Like, for our shade, like, it's funny that you say that because I was like one of the guys the other day went to go buy some other stuff. I was like, don't buy the damn Diablo stuff because I didn't use the sandpaper before. I just used to always use the like my Sawzall blades and stuff like that. But man, and my table saw blades. But man, that sanding stuff has been awesome.
The sanding paper, honestly, what I usually do is I buy it off Amazon because you can buy like hundreds for pennies on what you would pay for Diablo, but the actual tools and blades are or in my experience, they're fantastic. Some of their bits are hit or miss on whether they're like really worth the amount of money, especially when you can go on Amazon and get a Mana bits for almost the same price.
Yeah. Oh, I knew I was gonna try to find. I had those bits that came in. I was gonna pull those up. I'm gonna grab another car. I actually brought them home with me last night. Let's see.
I'm trying to find I got my Harbor Freight app. I'm trying to find see if that dust collector's got a coupon because there's a Harbor Freight right up front of the gate of this base I'm on. So
it's funny because all the Harbor Freights over here, because San Antonio is supposedly military city, USA. And so I think we have like 5 bases here. It's funny is all the Harbor Freights are literally at the entrance to all the bases. They thought that one through.
Oh, they know who buys their tools.
Yeah.
Actually, the other base I'm on is the Northern Tools within 2 minutes of the front gate.
Yeah,
I almost had a heart attack. I didn't realize Northern Tools was that expensive.
They are expensive, but they are good. So like for my metal stuff, like I use nibblers a lot, and I bought a Harbor Freight nibbler, and it broke in like 2 days of using a nibbler for cutting some sheet metal. And then I bought one for Northern Tool. It's been good for like 2 years.
Yeah, Northern Tools is really good.
But there's something it's kind of fun because there's a Northern Tool that's funny. The Northern Tool and the Harbor Freight are like right next door to each other here.
Well, I always thought I'd never been in. I just assumed Northern Tool was like a version of Harbor Freight, like kind of like similar. But what I needed was I was in a rush to get a masonry bit because I was hanging a bunch of stuff on base and literally went in and I was like, there ain't no way I'm dropping $8 for a single bit.
They're definitely for their tools and stuff like that. Now they have their clearance sections and all that, really good deals. And then like if you want a good compressor, like I bought my compressor from Northern Tool just because they do have higher end stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. It's so I kind of like both, but I've definitely because Northern Tool is like I go for the clearance stuff and hit Northern Tool usually.
Hey Mike, quick question. Do you think Maker Made would be interested in someone building a metal Maslow made for cutting with plasma?
I've been talking about doing that for a while. Like I want to because
my dad has a full metalworking shop back in Arkansas. I've done it for years, but I just don't have room in my current setup. But I was seriously considering buying him one for like Christmas and then building it and setting it up. And obviously, like he's not so computer savvy, but I can build him the code and all I'd have to do is put it in and cut it. So I didn't know if that was something Maker Made would be interested in.
I know Drew's been trying to do that, right? Drew, you've been playing with that?
So we've talked about it, and what you could do cool, because like so here, I'm trying to clear off my CNC plasma. So I've got one of the Langmuir Systems Crossfires CNC plasmas.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so they're basically doing the same thing. It's basically a Maslow in essence, where you have, and this one does not have a Z. This is the one that has the manual Z, but we cut pretty thick stuff with this, and then I have the water table on it, which is empty right now. But what do you call it? And you don't have to have a water table. The water table is just to help keep things cleaner if you want to. But so I thought about doing the same thing. Now, Langmuir Systems had issues with the igniter, so you have to be careful because there's certain. So you have to use electronic igniting torch, so that way you can turn on and turn off the torch when it needs to skip spots. And they had issues with that.
So that was the thing. He actually has a cheap Harbor Freight that he's gotten to run really well. The big thing is like it's not industrial, right? So it's not meant to run 24 hours a day. But at the end of the day, if you're cutting on a Maslow, you're thinking a plasma torch. Just talking 1/8 inch metal, right? 1/8 inch stick. I can't remember what gauge it is, but 1/8 inch steel. You're gonna be able to easily cut that in one pass with a plasma torch.
Oh yeah, like we're cutting a lot with this, and I have one of those Harbor Freight plasmas too. And I've actually tried to use, now the problem was that you used to, with Langmuir systems, they used to actually recommend those, and they still do have some Harbor Freight plasma cutters they recommend for the Langmuir systems, because it's like the Maslach where you buy the kit and then you go buy your own plasma cutter.
Yeah, because that's kind of like.
But there's issues where so the electronic igniters have feedback sometimes because they're not usually very well grounded. And so it was frying their control boards. So you'd have to be careful when you did that before you connect it to your shield, because you're gonna have to put the auto ignite where basically it's sending a signal to the torch, basically letting you know you're pressing a trigger. And so I'm trying to open my welding shed out here. But
So I was gonna go a lot more. I'm gonna say redneck, but just I was basically gonna take my old Maslow, my original Maslow kind of concept. And basically use a simple, the Z-axis would be set up to where as it dropped into place, it would hit the trigger or something along those lines. So all I would be building a rig for the actual.
You can do a Z. So I have like this. Lotuses are really popular, and these are like the Amazon ones,
right?
And then my. But this Vulcan, this is the new. It's actually been a great welder and plasma. And so I've been cutting thick stuff. I mean, you're talking really thick, like half. There's stuff in here I've been cutting half inch thick.
Right.
So yeah, you could do it. It's just all you have. And honestly, what's even crazier is you really could just put like a thin sheet. If you put aluminum on the back, because it's not going to stick to aluminum. So the slag's not going to stick to aluminum. So if you do, unless you're cutting aluminum, but even then, aluminum's a pain in the ass to weld if anybody's ever tried welding it. But if you put just like a thin sheet of 4x8 of aluminum on the backs and kept it wood, you wouldn't have to build the whole thing out of metal. That slag, because if it that you got a way where you did it, lifted off that, it kept the backboard just like enough where it wasn't all the slag would just go through. So if you did where you're doing slats for your waist, you do a slatted waist.
Well, see, that's what I was looking at doing. I was looking at building it to where basically the back was slats with expanded metal.
Yeah.
Holding it together.
And then you can leave
so
a wood frame because if you just covered it and yeah.
So then it's just a matter of basically building a base. Because most people I don't think are going to are not going to pick up a 4x8 sheet of 1/8 steel, right? That's just not going to be. But you could easily do a 4x4 and do a lot of cool stuff with it.
Well, yeah, and if you did work, so it's already slats anyways here. So if you did this where you just did a cross beam metal, and you can still even leave the sides wood, honestly, because that slag, if you just did something to keep it. But and then what I would do is a pan at the bottom. So what I was thinking is doing a pan at the bottom. So all of that slag that hits down, you just have a little water table down there.
No, 100%. Because I was thinking kind of along the same lines, basically taking an old trough, basically building a trough.
Oh yeah.
And so basically having a trough and it all collects in the bottom, and then basically just giving it enough an angle that you can take a quick broom when it's cooled off, sweep it into the bottom and vacuum it out.
Yeah, and there's plenty. So these, when you buy these crossbars, they don't come with water table. It's by the water table extra. And so a lot of people are using where all the sparks are just hitting the ground. I mean, you definitely don't want to that's why I try to keep it far away from all the wood, but yeah, I use the water table makes it nice. You don't have so much smoke and everything else, and then you can grab the pieces almost instantly. But yeah, that would work. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking on the same line as you are, and then really at the end of the day, you could use a Z. That's a good. I hadn't even thought about using a Z where it lifts and retracts when it gets to. So you just do a limit switch. So when it goes to cut, you have a limit switch there, and it hits, and that's how. Yeah, that's actually really smart. I hadn't thought about that part. Yeah.
That was just a redneck way of thinking about it, because I was like, I could build relays in, and you could do those things where you control basically. But I think, I was just debating like if that was something MakerMade would be interested in. Because I don't know if you've ever heard of a company called Liquid Metal. They do a lot of like what we do, but they do it out of metal. Now they also have very expensive equipment to do it with, like what you're showing. But I'm like, a lot of people could get into that. They just don't, because metalworking equipment is expensive. It is very expensive.
It is. That's the downside. Like, and like even those big mills I got, there's one, the big blue ones they have in here. I finally sold those, and hell, it was $8,000 just to have them rigged, to have them moved. Just let alone.
Even most CNC plasma cutters, I think the cheapest one I found was like $4,000.
Oh no, you can get nice. The Langmuir system's too. Yeah, the Langmuir system was 4,000 for that setup for the CNC plasma. Yeah, but for the what do you call it? For like the Harbor Freight ones, they're like, for a good one, a 200 amp is like under $500. It's not CNC plasma, but just a plasma cutter itself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying like the CNC plasma, like a true plasma you can get cheap, but a CNC plasma, and that thing's probably only a 24 by 24 inch cutting area, right?
Yeah, and you can buy the expand table, which is 36. They are expensive. I've looked at ones, and there's some gas ones on Amazon. They're like 2,000. They're just the arm systems, the mobile ones, but I didn't know how reliable those would be. And the other thing too, honestly, what really got me a MakerMade was actually this the Langmuir systems, because so after playing with the Langmuir system, so they're basically like MakerMade systems where they offer you a kit and you patch your plasma cutter. Now I bought the ones they recommended, the Vulcan for their system, but their support, they don't have like these groups, their support, their software, and you have to go from CAD to CAM to it's a pain in the ass, and you have to it's not like the Mazda. It's much more complicated, much more of a pain in the ass than the Mazda. Yeah. Because you're using whatever you're usually using Fusion 360, and then you're going to Mach 3, which is your CAM software for this. And it's like, and there's a whole process just to export files to be able to even go to CAM.
Right. I just looking at the Maslow system, there's so much potential there. Yeah. And the ability to throw in a plasma, like, I mean, you got to think, that means you could sell $1,000 machine and tell them, hey, for $500, go pick up, these are the recommended plasma cutters. And so for essentially about $1,700 after you build the frame and everything, you have a 4x4 3D or 4x4 plasma CNC. That's insanely
well, you can have
cheap.
A 4x8, because I mean, look at the length on this. Look at the length on this plasma. This plasma cutter has an 8-foot gable on it. You could easily do so if you're talking the plasma below.
So I don't disagree with you, but I don't disagree with you. Think about the person that's going to be required to lift a 4x8 sheet of 1/8 inch steel and put it up to be cut.
That's why this is the first time you see me in a shirt for a while. I'm usually looking like Peter over there. Every time you see me, I'm usually in a tank top, because I'm the janitor. I am the I hate doing the book, but I'm the janitor. I'm the man. I'm like,
don't get me wrong. I've lifted some heavy things, it's been my time, but I don't know if I would want to be lugging around that size sheets of 1/8 inch steel that often, because that's probably got to break 200 pounds.
You're an officer, right, Lauren?
Yeah. Don't judge me.
Captain?
I hear the judgment in your voice.
No, I just saying, Army officer. Come on, yeah. Come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I mean, I work out every day, but I'm just saying, like, 200 pounds.
No,
I don't think the average user is going to be like, let's lug a 8. And you can buy, honestly, most places you can buy 4x4 sheets of 1/8 inch steel relatively easy. Now, it's not necessarily cheap, but.
Yeah, Home Depot is super cheap for it, but honestly, what we use is a lot of scrap. So pretty much all my metal here, like, and I get these scraps, like this one has, and sorry, been out in the sun. But
that's probably what, 16th inch? That's a 16th inch.
16 inch 2x2, and that was like $8 a scrap. Now, if you went to Home Depot, that'd be like $60. But if you go to like the scrap metal shops or the junkyards, it's pretty cheap. And so that's where we get a lot of ours from.
Yeah.
That's what I use for like making.
I think this is just a logical. I think this is a logical evolution of the machine, to be honest. Like, you've tapped into 3D printing, you've tapped into the woodworking. Logically, move into the next, medium, which is metal.
No, I'm with you 100%. That's what I think. That's where I've been wanting to deal with it, because it's so easy. Like you said, it'd be so easy. But yeah, even the Harbor Freight ones, I was able to cut. This is really thick. It's got to be half-inch. Some pipe I scrapped that we made a little for burning all our scraps, little what do you call it, jet stoves. But yeah, it does work. It's they work well. It'd be that you're dead on. That's one thing I would love to get with you on. Like, if I start building one, you start building one, definitely talk about like, hey, what are you doing? How are you thinking this through? I like having two minds. Like, just me, I have.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think about doing a limit switch on the Z. That's smart. Instead of having to do the track, and then you can isolate the. Then you're isolating it from. You don't have to worry about any feedback bothering the controller.
Well, you think like most of the plasma cutters I've cut with, the cone, that standoff, because you're really holding that cone very close to the material, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I very much think like if you just did that standoff switch when as soon as it moved into almost contact with the material, automatically initiate it and it just starts cutting.
Yeah, you won't have to use CAD because you can actually. There's a Z retract feature with the with 3D printers, but also with the mouse. Sorry, it has a Z retract too. It has to do every time it ships it, so you're already doing it anyways. So, but you just all you do is set it. Instead of having to do expensive cam and all, or complicated cam and all that, all you're doing is just telling your design. You just say it's a certain depth, and then you just make sure it retracts so much every time it moves.
Right. So, yeah, 100%. So you have your passover height.
Yeah.
But other than that, like as soon as it starts cutting, you just make sure that it cuts. You could literally build an easel, but tell it, hey, it's gonna 1/8 inch steel. It's gonna cut 1/8 inch pass. One pass, it's gonna be complete.
Watch the Langmuir Systems like video. It'll give you an idea how to do it. So when you start thinking about building it, it'll give you some things to think about incorporating it. Because it'd be super easy. I've honestly thought about just turning one of them into it because I've got a third one that's sitting outside right now, and without the electronics on it. But I thought about turning that one into a plasma, just for fun.
My dad's really into, he has the space. He has a full metalworking shop. So I really thought about, it's a perfect opportunity because actually when I first bought my CNC, it came in the day before I went home to visit them for Christmas. And I literally packed it in the back of the truck last minute and said, screw it, we'll build it there. So I actually built my Maslow twice, or my M2 twice. First time I built it at his house with him, and I didn't think he was going to be into it, but he actually loved it. He thought it was the coolest thing. But
well, the cool thing, dude, you could do too is if you did 2 frame mounts or whatever, because like I said, I have an extra frame right now I have built out there that has, and you could literally, if you just took the sled, the chains, and the sled chains and the Arduino off, you could do 2 setups. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. I mean, and like you said, you could actually build a large majority of the frame still out of wood.
Yeah.
You just need to build the backing out of metal.
Yeah, just the slats. And honestly, you want to do it where they're replaceable because those slats get destroyed.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, then the nice thing, if you do a 4x4 too, it's not going to be that expensive because the slats, like a new set of these slats, Langmuir System sells them themselves. I think they're like $30 for a set for the water table slats. And I like how they get the piece there. You could actually do it pretty easily. Yeah, I think that'd be perfect. And the sled's big enough area where if the only thing it'd be keeping it from catching the edges, but the edges of the sled are rounded anyways.
Yeah, well, what I was honestly gonna do is I was gonna build a metal. I was considering building a different material sled anyway.
Yeah, you'd have to do a metal sled because otherwise it'd catch fire.
Yeah, I was looking at doing a metal sled, and I didn't think it was gonna be a big of a problem. You can round the edges up or just round them over nice and smooth. I don't think it'd be a problem. It may be kind of noisy. But who knows?
Yeah, actually the plasma's not noisy.
No, I'm talking about the sled.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't know. It's something I even considered building one out and actually doing you ever seen the mini ball bearings? Like
Yep.
Putting a bunch of those on the bottom and then it just rolls.
Yeah, it'll get clogged with slag so quick though.
Yeah,
I've learned that the hard way with every little mechanical thing. Like this thing, I grease this thing so much because the slag and everything else just in this splatter. I've constantly have to grease it, and so that's what they're doing here. So they're doing the mini bearings on the XY with a screw drive.
Yeah,
but those things still, I'm constantly clean those things.
Yeah, I mean you're absolutely right. That's a good point. You would definitely, it would have to be more maintenance than a standard Maslow. I mean, you got to clean it a lot more.
I think it's just a sled though. I think it's just a regular sled metal with a really rounded edge would be fine.
Yeah.
Because you're not worried about depth. You don't want to accidentally.
Because the plasma torch, the ones I've worked with have plenty of the variants.
Oh yeah, you got plenty. If
quite a bit, you know.
The only thing you're gonna get with the variants is you're gonna get if you're having to do really tight tolerances. Like we did some aerospace stuff, which ended up being a nightmare. But we did some control boxes for F-16s or F-14s, and we had to have 1/10 of a millimeter tolerances. Like so, if the circle was supposed to be like 1 millimeter, it had to be, plus or minus. The max it could be is 0.9 or 1.1 millimeter in diameter, so it had to be super precise. But even though that was that CNC plasma was able to do it. So, and that's it. So, but stuff like that, like you're saying, most people are not going to need that type of tolerances. Honestly, if they're off by a couple millimeters,
I'll be honest. Like, yeah, if you're running an M2, you're not running, but you're not.
No,
you're not a machinist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not working in the 1,000th of a millimeter. You're not in that game. You're in more like a 1/10 of a millimeter. Or I mean, I got mine down to about 1/10 of a millimeter.
Yeah.
Surprisingly pretty accurate. And like I said, most of the time when I get in the real big circles, like my 24-inch circles, it's about it's just over a 32nd of an inch variance, but vertically versus width. But at 24 inches, I can handle that variance.
Yeah.
No one will know the
I think
difference.
it'd be really cool to see that. I do think that'd be really cool to see. Like, I would love to connect with you on doing that because I really want. And honestly, that I do think there's people out there that want that. It may not be like the right time for Maker Made to like really push it yet, but if we help them put something together like that, or got something design like that, that'd be really cool. And then plus we'd have one for ourselves. Because one thing I do need is like I have that 4x4, but there are things I've done where it'd be nicer to have a bigger table. But it's funny you do say though, part of the reason why I didn't get the bigger table was exactly what you're talking about, the way of the metal. I don't have a forklift. I have pallet jacks, I don't have a forklift. And I'm like, I don't. It is. You start getting really heavy pieces. We've had pieces. I've got engine lift and stuff over here. I've got a 2-ton engine lift, and I've got one of those 2,000-pound lift carts. Oh yeah, my engine lift, and it's not that engine lift's not for working on cars. The engine lift is for moving the metal when I need to move metal.
I've even seen guys weld hooks onto sheets of metal, tack weld, and just so they can use their cherry picker to move their pieces of metal.
Yeah, that was why. So, but the thing is, a lot of stuff we do isn't that thick. So, and a lot of stuff we've done is aluminum, and aluminum is actually pretty cheap.
Oh yeah, and it's light too. It is much lighter.
Yeah. Well, and what's really cool is the for trucks and stuff like that. So I've seen what do you call it? The diamond plate, the aluminum diamond plate is really cool. I had a friend give me a chunk of that, like a 4x4 of that, and it was super lightweight. It was actually pretty darn thick.
Yeah. See, I've been wanting to try aluminum in my Maslow. I just haven't done it yet. I need I can cut it. I don't have any bits for it. I mean, I know you can, but I don't have any bits for it, and really haven't tested it. But I was gonna
you can actually use wood bits.
Oh, you can use wood bits?
Yeah. Just make sure it's like a 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 series aluminum.
Yeah. I just know you need to cut it. Like I think you have to cut it at like 3 inches per minute or something like that. It's slow.
Yeah, you'll do it slow because so we do a lot of so I have some aluminum block here. I think this is 6,000 series. So yeah, and we actually did it. We were playing around. We did a small piece. Where is it? So we're testing with like that. He did his little J in those blocks there, and just with the regular end mill.
That's still pretty cool.
So, yeah, it'll do it. It definitely does it. Yeah, this is. Let's see I can't remember. I think this is 6,000 series blocks, but yeah, I'll do it. And you just use regular, and you don't have to cool it either. I use air assist. I attach it to blow chips away. But the nice thing with aluminum is you don't have to use you don't have to use coolant. You don't have to spray it with coolant or anything. I just use air. So it's definitely
awesome.
fun, but yeah, the plasma cutting is definitely better. And then like this stuff here, these are the Home Depot sheets. I have a friend that has like gets all the returns from Home Depot. It's the only reason I have these, because these things are like $30 a pop at freaking.
No, I've seen them. Trust me,
Yeah.
my wife gets projects and gets the hair up her. Yeah.
I would
Next
go there.
thing she wants me to build her something, and I just look at the cost of the materials. I'm like, you losing your mind.
I've been going to scrap metal shop, honestly. Scrap metal shops are dirt cheap.
I gotta find one here. There probably is one. I never even thought about that.
Junkyards too. If you go to the junkyard, some of the junkyards call them and see if they'll let you buy scrap metal.
Well, I got a junkyard a couple of miles down the road from my house, but it's really just a recycling facility. I don't know if they would let me.
Oh, you'll be amazed. So they're not supposed to let you have computers either, but some of my computers are right, because companies throw away literally nice, brand new computers. They're like, oh, that's 2-year-old computer off the lease, so we're gonna throw it away. I'm like, so I threw the hard drives, obviously, to be safe and crush the hard drives. But yeah, yeah, it definitely costs. The city one, they probably won't let you do it, but if it's a public one, like a privately owned one, they probably will. If you tell them, hey, I want some sheets of metal, and they'll sell to you by the pound.
Yeah, I may have to try that. That's a good point. No,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I gotta,
Like I said, I got to call my dad to see if he's interested in it, because I'll definitely need his equipment to do it. But if he is, and I mean, I got family back in Texas too, so if I'm ever back in the San Antonio area, I'll be looking you up.
Yeah, come by.
So
I scrapped everything. Well, the nice thing is, what's crazy is we're in an industrial park, so like I have a 110,000 pound press I have out here. So we're like, there's a bunch of like government companies and stuff that do like. So I have this. So one is a Harbor Freight, but I have this big. So I have this big 110,000 pound press here. Wait, turn the camera around. And somebody.
Oh, Jesus.
My smaller one. The neighbors are throwing it away. They were throwing it away. I'm serious. A 24-foot trailer. So Myco, which is a big corporate company, I guess it does parts or whatever. So this 24-foot trailer, which has a boom crane or a 2-ton. They're shutting down this office, and I was like, hey, what's up? They gave me all the furniture, and the lady just signed with the title of the trailer. We all saw it. She's like, yeah, you can have it. Literally gave me the title of the trailer, signed over to me. Nice. With the crane, everything inside of it. So people, it's amazing what companies throw away.
That's pretty impressive.
That company, yeah, they just fired everybody. Like, here, we're laying y'all all off. Y'all have 2 weeks, and if you want your severance, you have to help move everything out. And they were all pissed. So like, you can have everything on the damn company. And so, but we get a lot of that. So I always watch, because if you watch, especially there's so many places I see scrapping stuff. You'll be amazed how much stuff you can find around. So I'd watch those industrial parks, because we got a 747 engine one time, which that was a bad idea. It ended up taking me a bit to get it hauled off, but they were dumping a 747 engine out here. And I was like, oh yes, I want it. You know, my wife was like, no, like, but it's a 747 engine.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know how to explain my wife. Like, I've got a giant jet engine just because I can.
Yeah, I was putting it in our front yard to screw with our HOA, but yeah, no, and it ended up costing me $400 to have it hauled off. So it's not like you just throw it back in your truck and have it taken for scrap metal.
It probably weighs like 3 tons.
I don't know. It was a lot. I had to pay. They had to come out with an 18-wheeler and haul it. It was a bad idea, but it was cool for a little bit. I took some pictures with it.
Hey, Mike, did you get that email I sent you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got it. What's your address?
All right. Yeah. No, I just got to get off here. It's
yeah, I gotta get some. Hey, will you forward that to me, or Lauren? Will you shoot me an email with your information too? I think I've got it, but in case.
I'll shoot it to that message. That phone number you're using, that's your phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll shoot you that message in just a minute as soon as I get off.
Perfect. Thanks.
Like I said, hopefully I get these videos up soon. I'll let you know, Mike, because I may need your advice on where to place these videos, or if you want them put up elsewhere. Like I said, they're going to be pretty basic for the first few, but it's just about getting the information out there.
All right, sounds good. Just send me an email.
All right, sounds good.
All right,
Y'all
guys,
take
see you
care.
later. Bye, Peter.
All right. Bye. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, Mr. Biggs.
Just bye. Talk to you later.
There's